I'm afraid that this is your stop. Lightning.
Excuse me, lady. Do you mind if I have a word with you? Well, this is a shock. A tourist?
You could say that.
Hate to break it to you, but there's nothing worth seeing in this desert. There are some ruins out there, but they ain't the type that any decent folks should go to.
Why not? Are they dangerous?
They're just breeding grounds for monsters. Well, that and home to some legendary treasure or something. The vessel that'll summon the souls of the dead and open the door to the afterlife. They call it the Holy Clavis.
Summon souls, you said? That's promising.
Bunch of nonsense if you ask me. Not that the bandits or the Order will ever give up on it, though. They've been searching for that thing forever. I don't recommend diving into those ruins for some fairy tale. Not if you don't want those bandits on your back for invading their territory.
Thanks for the warning.
Why don't you find those bandits' headquarters and see what they know?
Miss Mighty Savior, what can I do for you on this find? Much. For my friend, here's what I promised you. A soul fragment, just like we talked about.
I thought you said it wasn't an item. And that's why you couldn't give it to Saz yourself, right?
Kind of. It's something that's in my heart. Here, I'll take it out for you right now. Give me a second here. One freshly baked smile fragment just for you.
I'm just relieved it doesn't smell like anything. Thanks. I've got this now.
No, thank you. I hope I've helped pay him back for everything he's done for me.
Pay him back for what? Now would be as good a time as any to tell me who you really are. How do you know Saz and Daj? And just exactly how did you end up with one of Daj's soul fragments inside you?
That's still a secret for me to know and you to find out. Remember, once you have all 5 fragments, give them to Saz, okay? And of course, I'll be there to witness everything. I promise. Chocoboco later! Chocoboco lead! The fragments were scattered all over. You'll have to search every nook and...
This desert used to be far greater than what it is now. But the chaos keeps spreading. It is swallowing up the land and everything that lives on it. I've looked into that clavis for you. Apparently, it's an artifact that's... thought capable of drawing the souls of the dead to it. That's about all we know. It seems the Order has been trying hard to recover the relic.
What's done is done. But they haven't had any luck, right? It seems like the Order isn't the only one interested either. The bandits also want it.
Yes, the bandits that call this desert home. They make a living by taking what they can from the ruins and selling their finds.
Are they bandits or grave robbers? I don't know how much this everywhere. But if it can be used to gather souls, it sounds pretty handy for a savior.
Yes, it's the only artifact of its type in the world. If the Order is willing to spend so many resources searching for it, it's probably worth finding.
Get back to where you belong. With this sword, I fight for hope. Be reborn. As long as time still flows, I'll fight to spare. I'll bring back lost time. Now. It's mission time. You won't steal our future. If I target you, you're finished. We'll all be reborn. Another victory.
Should know something about the Clavis, considering how much time they've spent in the ruins. But be careful if you go in there.
We'll all be reborn. Valhalla will welcome you.
least one settlement here in the desert. Hopefully, you'll be able to rest up there. But it seems like it's the bandits' base. They may not exactly welcome a stranger like you.
Well, considering how they've been tracking... No looking back. You won't steal our future.
They've been keeping an eye on you ever since you stepped foot in their desert.
Let them. We'll meet face to face soon enough. Come and get it. We'll all be reborn. No time for hesitation. What's done is done. I'll bring back lost time. Thanks for waiting. I'll bring back lost time. Okay, let's go. Time to dress up. it up. Claims us all. You won't steal our future. Isn't this the kind of magnifying glass that appraisers use? It looks like it's pretty worn.
It does look rather old, but it seems like it's been taken good care of. You're close to the gang settlement. If you're feeling lost, try checking...
No time for hesitation. No looking back. The opponent. Unfurl the wings of death. You're down. You'll all be reborn. Take you to the unseen void. Now, eyes to the future. Thanks for waiting.
This is a branch of the... You do know he is the preferred... Visit the main store!
What's done is done. Get back to where you belong. Death is everywhere. It's mission time.
Do you see that tall structure? The archaeologists believe that it once served as a lighthouse. It's said that this place was once a vast ocean, but the water's all dried up, and so the lighthouse has lost all meaning.
Has it, though? It could still shine out upon the sea of chaos, or show... Eyes to the future. I think that light is needed more than ever in this kind of desert.
You may be right about that. Light can bring people hope, just like you do, Lightning.
Expect me to back down? Thanks for waiting. What's done is done. lost time. Time to dress up. What's done is done. Time can't be stopped. Unfurl the wings of death. It's good to change it up. It's good to change. I'll take you to the unseen void.
You got them, didn't you? The soul fragments for Daj?
You're the one who gave Saz the coffer. You started this wild goose chase.
Wild goose chase? Saz was suffering. I felt sorry for him. You should know how he feels, wanting to be reunited with the last bit of family he has. Right, Lightning?
Right. Because I lost Sarah, huh?
Exactly. Though it's not the same thing. I'm afraid that a coffer of souls won't save Sarah. Too bad. You'll just have to figure out how to save her for yourself, huh?
That's what I'm planning to do. I don't need anyone's help. Especially not yours.
Hey, you. Yeah, you there. Don't you think the last of something seems a bit more special? More valuable, even?
Not necessarily. Could just be the leftovers that no one else wanted.
You just don't get it. I guess I have to explain to you the awesomeness of my research, then.
No, you really don't. But thanks anyway.
Wait. This is your last chance. Are you sure you want to miss out on your chance to hear the last researcher?
Last researcher? I've seen plenty of researchers.
No, I research lasts. Everything has to end sometime, right? Even us ageless humans, we still fall prey to illness and injury. Eventually, there will be a last of us too.
Unless the world ends first. But what do you want from me?
I've spent this endless life of mine researching the ends of all the many things in our world. And now, I'm researching the last of the monsters.
So you're studying how they die?
No. That'd be their last moments. I meant the last specimen of a species of monsters.
I don't follow.
You see, you reduce the number of specimens in a species until they're on the very verge of extinction. Then, what will happen to the last individual?
One lone survivor in the face of extinction.
It turns out the last individual receives the collective strength of its species and it transforms. Its form is enveloped in a sickly light, and it becomes far stronger than is normal for an individual of its kind. I've come to call this the Last One syndrome. I must gather data on all the species that manifest a last one. I want to drive every last species of monster to the brink of extinction and study their survivors.
I don't know whether to salute you or slap you. You want to wipe out all the monsters in the world.
The world is ending anyway, right? Everything is going to die sooner or later, so what's wrong with speeding things up? No need to feel bad. Get out there and start killing.
Are you talking to me?
I need someone to start exterminating monsters fast, so I can study as many last ones as possible. You're obviously strong enough for the task, so get to it.
It's impossible. All the time in the world would not be enough to hunt a species into extinction.
Yes, you're right. You'd have to be able to live through this life countless times to do such a thing.
Why ask if you know it's impossible?
Like I said, the world is ending anyway. If you don't ask for what you want now, then when will you? I knew it was too much to hope for. But somehow when I saw you, I thought you might actually be capable of it.
Do you even listen to yourself? Fine. Since you asked, I guess I can at least try. But no promises.
I know you'll be able to do it. I can see it in your eyes. You'll come back to me a success.
Looking forward to a bit of rest. But I wouldn't let your guard down if I were you. I would guess that everyone living there is part of the bandit gang.
So don't be surprised if I wake up at knife point, is that it? Fine by me. It'd give me an excuse to beat some information out of them.
You'd use yourself as bait? Just for that? I guess that's just like you. But don't let yourself get hurt, okay?
I don't barter. You got that? Hey, what's with the sourpuss? You don't have a complaint about my fine assortment now, do you?
It's good enough, I suppose.
Go on! I don't need some uppity tourist making demands. Go somewhere else if you don't like my wares. Go on, get!
If you insist, I will. You're not the only merchant around.
That's where you're wrong, Missy. Far as I know, this is the only shop in the desert. There was one other fella, but he couldn't cut it. Lost all his drive to sell out here. When that happens, well, that's the same as death to a salesman.
So, what made him give up?
Damn fool. He bet his dreams on the desert, that's what. Poor old Ramon. He thought he'd make a real name for himself out here, selling to adventurers. But in the end, he lost sight of his dream and his business.
Sounds good for you, though he doesn't seem like he was much of a rival anyway.
Shut it! You don't know the first thing about him!
Didn't mean to offend you. What's there to get so worked up about anyway?
Nothing. Not a damn thing. It's just like you say. He was nothing at all. It's not like he'd ever been a threat to my business anyway. No, not Ramon. I'm done talking about him. If you want to know more, ask him yourself. You'll find him near that old camp in the giant sandbox.
He was a pretty strange guy, wasn't he? But if he's really the only merchant around like he says, then I guess you'll have to count on him for help. Unless, of course, you want to find out for yourself about that Ramon fellow. The buildings here are ancient structures from another age. I don't know whether to call this a town or a fortress, but it's definitely unique.
I'd say definitely criminal is closer. At least there's not much of a dress code, other than looking like a thief.
Just awoke.
What are you doing?
Nothing much, just gilling my sputs for hall to ear. Dutter do youing, wum-ass.
Hope, can you interpret this for me?
It seems to me like it's some kind of code or cipher, but I don't have enough data yet to break it.
Can't you speak normally?
Show nit. Of course I can. Look, I don't have any info about any treasure if that's what you're looking for. I've got no interest in it. Buffet to you.
Doesn't seem like many people choose to live out here unless they're after treasure. So, what's your story?
Me be Lee. The world's going to end soon anyway, right? If that's the case, what's the point in having dreams or working hard?
So sitting around waiting for the end was the best idea you could come up with. Nice way to spend your last days.
Well, yeah, it's boring, but nothing I do now makes any sort of difference anyway, so why bother? No matter how much I might unravel mysteries of the past, none of these bandits care. They don't even listen to my findings. Troen even nice to understand.
I get that it's hard to stay motivated when no one appreciates what you do.
I'd say so. If you get it, why are you giving me a hard time? Just leave me alone. I'm done with all of it. I ditched all my equipment in the desert. If you find any of my old things, they're yours. Take them away with you.
I think I may just do that. They deserve better than getting tossed aside by some sulking, spoiled kid.
Fake them, 10.
Speaking of
What is it? Don't tell me you actually found something.
Is this it? What you threw away?
How did you... Dad's loop?
Dad?
Never mind that. Just give it back to me. Now!
You want it back? Who was it that told me I was welcome to whatever I could find? I'm not sure I want to give it up.
Fine. I'll talk if I have to. My dad was a great bandit, okay? But he was also a great appraiser. He spent his whole life studying the relics in these ruins.
So he wanted you to follow in his footsteps?
No, it wasn't like that. Not at all. He taught me everything he knew so that I could become a scholar. He wanted me to be able to unravel the mysteries of the past. But then he disappeared, never made it home. No one ever found any clue as to what happened. He left me, and took my only chance at becoming a scholar with him. Didn't have much choice. I could appraise or starve.
Is that why you threw away his tools? In order to spite your father?
It was stupid. I was stupid. I should have just done what my dad wanted and kept working to be a real scholar. But he's gone, and it's too late now. This world is nearly done for. But if I'm ever reborn, I promise I'll take things a bit more seriously. I'll give it my all. I'll study hard, and I'll become a great scholar and solve all kinds of mysteries. Or maybe that's too much to ask for.
You should dream big, and the first step to making your dream come true is believing it can come true.
If I want to make my dreams come true, I've got to be at least a better appraiser than my father was. I know that's what he would have wanted, too. If you find any treasures in the ruins or out in the desert, please bring them to me to be appraised. Want me to appraise anything odd for you? Whoa, that's some great treasure you found. Good for you. Come back whenever you find any treasure.
Why, hello. Looks like it's your first time to our humble home. Welcome. Do you need a guide?
That's exactly what I need. That and some answers to a few questions I have.
A woman who knows what she wants. Fire away and I'll do my best.
Rumor has it that you bandits might be able to tell me about the Holy Clavis.
So you know who we are. From what I can tell, you don't look like one of those order lackeys, so what possible use could you have for the Clavis?
Why should I have to tell you that?
You shouldn't, and you don't. You're not one of us, so you can do whatever you want, but I won't be telling you nothing. If you want to know what we know about the Clavis, you'll just have to join our gang, Monoculus. Have you ever wanted to be a bandit? Now's your chance. Not that we let just anyone join us. But we'll at least let you try out. If you don't like that, then I think you know where the exit is. And that's all I've got to say about this. Name's Adonis, by the way. If you want to attempt the trial, just say the word. I'll explain everything you need to know.
If you want to find the Holy Clavis, it looks like there might...
You ready to see if you've got what it takes to join Monoculus? Oh, made your decision, have you? Then let me explain what you'll have to do. There's a giant sandstorm in the desert. You've seen it, right? It's been causing us nothing but grief out here, to say the least. Make it stop. That's your test. Off you go.
Make it stop? The wind? Do you want a bandit or a holy woman?
Oh, fine. Make me explain it all. Look, that thing's not exactly natural. People call it God's wrath. It's magic or a curse or something. If you can trigger the stone monument near it, you should be able to control it, including making it go away.
If you know that, why haven't you taken care of it, instead of asking a stranger?
What, you think a human can control the weather? That's just crazy talk. Now go and give it your all. Best of luck. Beat the monster near the stone monument, and you'll get the key that activates it. And that's the last freebie you'll get from me.
So if you want into the bandit gang, you'll have to defeat a monster, get a certain key, and somehow use that monument.
Hearing what Adonis had to say about it didn't sound like anything a normal person could do.
You're right, it's not a very fair trial. But then again, you are the savior. Doing what regular people can't comes with a job, right?
What's done is done. I've defeated all of the last ones. There are none left. Are you happy now?
Yes, I can feel it. I can feel what your hard work has achieved. My last goal realized. The memories of all those furious battles are flowing through me now.
So you're satisfied?
Most surely. It's like a dream come true. I didn't believe it could ever be done, something so difficult.
It wasn't easy. Or pretty. I won't say you're wrong about that.
But you overcame all of those difficulties. difficulties. And so you have created hope.
Hope?
Though the road is so hard, you may find it leads nowhere. We've lived for 500 years with the dread that we're going nowhere. But what you have just done has shown us the light of hope, illuminating the dark uncertainty that we have lived with.
Stop. I might blush.
Perhaps you are humanity's own last one. The last hope remaining in this dying world. A light flickering in the darkness of the chaos. No, that sounds too frail for you. You are the guiding beam of inspiration that cuts through the darkness. Indeed, you are quite surely the last light remaining in this world.
Be reborn. If I target you, you're finished. Be reborn. Death is everywhere.
I think that must be it. Adonis's monster. The question is, does it have the key?
Let's hope that it does. But I'll have to beat it to find out. And now I get to be a bandit, too. No time for hesitation. Huh. Is this the key? Is this how you activate that monument?
That's the theory, yeah. It's called a crux and it's supposed to fit right into the monument and switch it on somehow. But not just for anyone. According to all the tales, only those chosen by God can make them work.
It doesn't seem dangerous. I think it's just reacting to your power.
Oh, don't tell me. You can actually make it work? Well, shoot. I never thought you'd be able to do it. So you're the real deal. You actually got the crux to do its thing. Guess the boss was right, as usual. You've got some strange kind of power that the rest of us just don't.
Your boss? I don't remember being introduced.
You haven't, but we've been keeping tabs on you ever since you stepped off the train at the station. But I suppose I should let the boss explain the rest in person. 'Cause, honestly, I don't want to get blamed for spilling the wrong things.
So does that mean I'm in?
I said the boss will explain in person, didn't I? You think just anyone gets in to see her? Welcome to the gang. You are now officially part of Monoculus.
Light, you've stopped the winds and opened up a new route. This will make for a great shortcut to the bandit settlement. It looks like Adonis wasted no time in using your new shortcut. Why don't you follow his lead and head back to meet the bandit boss?
Good job again on the trial. Impressive. You ready to go meet the boss now? Here she is, boss. The new recruit with the crazy powers. It was just like you said, the crux lit up like a candle.
Perfect timing. Huh? Glad you could make it. Took you long enough, didn't it?
Fang.
What? No hugs and tears for an old friend? Not like I'd expected, though. If you'd shouted Fang and hugged me, I might have had a heart attack on the spot.
Yeah, you guys know each other.
But I'm glad to see you're still the same. It's been a long time, after all. Though I guess a part of you has changed. You're more than just human now. You're on a mission from God now. Right, Savior?
So you know who I am.
Isn't it nice not having to explain things? Yeah, I heard all the stories hanging out with the God Squad in Luxurion. They love talking about their savior.
You were with the Order, but ditched them to come out here to be a gang leader.
Those priests aren't exactly my kind of people. I stuck around to look after Vanille, but then something else came up. I'm after the Clavis now. It's been sealed away for ages, though, and no one's got even close to it. I was beginning to think I'd have to give up. But then you came along and worked your magic with that crux. How about we team up? I want to get that Clavis before the Order does. Help out a friend, Lightning?
How could I refuse an old friend? It'll be like old times, right?
All right. I'll show you what we have on the ruins. We've got lots to talk about. Like what the Order is up to. And Vanille, too. Anyway, we've got ourselves a deal. If you're going into those ruins, I'm coming too. We'll get that holy Clavis, and take down anyone that gets in our way.
So the boss turned out to be someone you knew, Erba Yun Fang. You once fought alongside her many years ago.
You do realize that you did too, right? Yet you sure make it sound like it has nothing to do with you.
Well, yes, we did fight together once. A long, long time ago.
You look good in everything.
Before you head out, it may be a good idea to talk the expedition through, to make sure we're on the same page. So what you're looking for is the Holy Clavis, a mystical relic said to gather the souls of the dead and believed to lie in this desert.
I can win with a single blow.
Let's end it.
But despite their best efforts, no one has even gotten closer.
Yes, but Light, you're forgetting one crucial thing. You managed to get the Crux to react to you because you're the Savior. I'm sure you'll be able to break them.
Maybe. But if you want the truth, I'm more curious about Fang. She used to be with the Order, and now look at her. She's...
Let's make this quick.
I would assume that means she's decided to defy the Order for some reason.
Fang, get my back! Time can't be stopped. You can't read me. Is this... Fang, get my back! Eyes to the future. Fight with everything you have.
Reminds me of the old days, fighting together. Get back to where you belong.
You can't break me down. Eyes to the future. We'll all be reborn. You can't break me down.
Since it's called the Giant's Hand, I suppose it's something you'll be able to spot from far away. If you can't see it now, then I guess you're not even close to being in the right area.
Time can't be stopped. You can't break me down. We'll all be reborn. You can't read me. What's done is done. I offer this victory to a dying world.
Think you can take us?
The fight will be honest.
do you think you're doing, blundering around here and interrupting my precious sleep? You lost or something?
Just looking for a story. I hear that you once had big dreams of striking it rich.
Whatever dreams I had have been lost under the sands.
Then why stay? Why stick it out in the desert?
I owe it to my wife. She's gone now, but the one thing she valued more than her own life is still out there in that desert. If I could just get it back, I'd be gone from here and never look back.
What could be so important?
Her arithmometer. Back when she was alive, back when we still had our shop, my wife was in charge of keeping the books. I never was good at numbers. But my wife, Monica, she lived by that arithmometer. We're gonna have great sales this month. Next month will be the one for us. Plugging numbers into that silly thing of hers. All with the most joyous smile you've ever seen. That smile of hers. That was my real treasure. And then one day those monsters stole my treasure away from me. Everything ended. My business, my life. I lost Monica and her smile. Now the only wares I have to sell to anyone are regret and despair.
I see. I'm sorry. Do you really think you'll be able to move on if you find your wife's memento, though?
Sure as the desert's dry. If I could just find that arithmometer for her, I'd be done with this place in a heartbeat.
Light.
This is my wife's. I'd know it anywhere. The arithmometer that she so loved.
You've got your wife's memento back, so now you can leave the desert anytime you want. Isn't that right?
Like I've got any place else to go. Anyway, it would have been better if you'd just never found it. I want to say goodbye to the desert where my wife died. But I don't want to leave the desert where she lived. Don't you see? Now what am I supposed to do?
That's up to you. And if you can't figure it out yourself, well, then why don't you just think about what your wife would have wanted for you?
What Monica would have wanted is she always wanted me to make it out here as a merchant. Me and my shop. She wanted to help me achieve my dream of striking it rich.
I guess you have your answer. If you're going back into business, how about I be your first customer?
Yeah. I'd like that. After all, I owe you. You brought me back. You brought our dream back to life. Hey. Do come back again.
This is Lightning. She's new.
A little sandbird told me what you've been up to. You've been busy, haven't you? But is it true? Is old Ramon open for business again?
All I did was help him get back onto his feet.
Helping him at all is more than enough. The world's a pretty hard place to live in these days. You don't see a lot of people helping each other out. If there were more good eggs like you around, maybe this place wouldn't have ended up the ghost town that it is.
Someone's got to be the first to start. Why not you?
Wow, because I'm a ruthless, greedy salesman. I don't do a thing if there's no profit in it.
Are you sure? For someone who claims to be a ruthless salesman, you look pretty happy to hear about your rival's return.
That's ridiculous. He'll be out of business again in a week, I'll bet. If he does manage to cut it somehow, a competitor might help me stay on my toes. I'll say this, my wares and my service will both be better than ever.
I certainly hope so. Don't let me down now.